Hi, my name is Courtney. About a year ago, I had a Kundalini awakening. At the time, I wasn't spiritual, and it was a really scary time for me. I'm a little bit better. I'm still going through the process, but I'm trying to understand where I fit into the equation and just trying to research Kundalini itself. Back in my early stages of Kundalini, I promised myself, or made a promise to the universe, that I was not going to let my story go unheard. I believe that somebody can learn from my experience. So I'm kind of setting out now to do some research. So when I was going through the Dark Night of the Soul stuff, and in my early stages, I collected a lot of questions, and I'm setting out to answer those on YouTube in hopes that my research or my understanding of things could help somebody else along the way. So one of the people that I researched the most is Gopi Krishna. And Gopi Krishna, in 1937, at the age of 34, had a Kundalini awakening during meditation. And Gopi went on to write, I believe, 18 books, 2 of which were not in a language that he spoke. And Gopi Krishna pushed for Kundalini research. Now, he died in the 80s, and I believe it was 1984, but I didn't write notes on this. So he died in 1984, and one of the things that he said was, if more people knew about Kundalini awakenings, there would be no threat of nuclear war. It makes you wonder why there hasn't been a large amount of research regarding Kundalini, if it would be so beneficial. And then it also makes me wonder if there's a reason why people haven't wanted to research Kundalini. Having experienced Kundalini, it's difficult to describe it in a way that doesn't make it sound much less of an experience than it was. But Gopi Krishna explains it this way. The mechanism of Kundalini can be understood in the following way. Upon activation, 2 different activities start in the body. First, the whole network of nerves begins to manufacture a more potent form of subtle energy, prana, and to pour it into the brain through the spinal duct. The altered form of prana is most distinguished by its appearance as a luminous cloud in the brain. Operating in an average man and woman, the energy does not have this property. It is for this reason that the visionary experience of mystics is almost always bathed in light. This is the first important point to which any investigation of Kundalini must pay attention, and is why Kundalini is always likened to sun, moon, lightning, or fire. Further, the flashes of light or other forms of luminosity experienced by many people during the course of meditation are often due to a sudden, brief upsurge of the more potent prana in the brain. He goes on to say, second, another activity starts in the genital region. Upon the awakening of Kundalini, the reproductive fluid is drawn up in a now unknown way and poured into the spinal canal. Exactly how this suction is applied will have to be determined by research. This stream rising through the spine represents the nectar or ambrosia repeatedly mentioned in the treatises on Kundalini. Its entry into the spinal cord and then into the brain is marked by exquisitely pleasurable sensations, even exceeding those of orgasm. During the course of its ascent into the brain, this stream is ramified into smaller streams which irrigate the visceral organs through the nerve plexuses or the chakras. The streams can be distinctly felt moving into the various organs, stomach, liver, intestines, heart, lungs, and the like. A new channel for toning up the organs to meet additional needs now comes into operation. The body and the brain are thus prepared for a higher manifestation of consciousness. The flow of a more potent prana and this stream of fluidic secretions into nerve centers in the brain is what is implied by the phase penetration of Kundalini. It is also theorized that prana is absorbed into the body from the surrounding air via the respiratory system and is transmitted to the cells and tissues of the body, so you're breathing, possibly by the blood where it's stored. Since the primary active element in both air and water is oxygen, and since this element is probably the most crucial to functioning of life that we know it, it may be possible, as Gopi Krishna theorized, that prana uses oxygen as the major vehicle for its activity in the body.